Hello, Wildcats fans, and welcome to our first chat of the summer with someone other than our head coach Aaron. Now, I'm delighted to be joined by Sam Bullas himself. Bully, it's August. You getting ready for hockey yet?
Kind of. I go on holiday tomorrow. We were just talking about this, weren't we? So, got a short breakaway. I'm just currently asking for that. But yeah, getting there. We started training a couple of weeks ago, getting back in the groove of things. So it's good to see the lads again. And obviously, it's not a full team. Guys are everywhere, and each week we have 7 or 8 guys. But it's good to see people and get back on the ice. But yeah, we're all very excited.
How were those first sessions back on the ice after a few months off it?
Yeah, not too bad. We have some workouts to do. So yeah, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, it's a bit tough on the lungs, always the first one, but I've been to 3 or 4 now. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty fresh at this point.
You enjoying being out there as well?
Yeah, of course. I like it for like 2 weeks after the season. I can relax a little bit, and I kind of think, it's quite nice not to have hockey at weekends for a couple of weeks after the season. Then once that's done, I get bored, so I kind of miss it again. So I was counting down the days till we could get back on the ice. And if anything, once on a Thursday isn't enough at the moment. So obviously we step it up in the next few weeks. But yeah, I'm just excited to be back.
And obviously, looking at the team this year, it's looking like a strong one.
Yeah, definitely. When I spoke to Aaron after the season and re-signed, I listened to his project and his ideas and what I'm putting together. And he mentioned a few names that people he's going to go after. And, the imports obviously we signed and Wellesley back. And, we've got Griff coming in. It's just some super players we've added to our core. And, I'm really excited. It's a project I've been working on for a few years. And I think we've kind of got some of those last pieces to finish the jigsaw, so to speak.
Obviously, we could talk about every individual on the team, but the one you didn't mention there is a certain Ben O'Connor. How exciting is that to have a name like him coming into the Wildcats locker room?
Phenomenal. When I was younger, he was a few years above me, but when I was younger, he was someone I really looked up to. Obviously, he's led the way for Great Britain national team as well, something I've always kept tracks with. And yeah, he's a legend of the sport, isn't he, really? And to have him as a Wildcat player is quite frankly a bit mental, isn't it, really, to think about it? But, we're all very excited. We all know what he can do. We've all seen his shootout goal for GB, through the legs. Yeah, he's a very talented player. I've heard really, really good things from Aaron about, his personality. He's a very good guy, apparently. So Aaron thinks he'll slot straight in with us. And we're all really excited to have him on board. And now he's another, like I said, a piece of the puzzle which is going to push us towards the ultimate goal of those trophies.
And you talked about some other big names. Another one I know the Wildcats fans were buzzing about was a certain Mr. Wells back in Swindon for another year. You played with Ryan last year. You know what he brings in that locker room. How big is that of a return for us?
Yeah, he's one of a kind, or Wellsy, because he's obviously, in my opinion, the best D-man in the league last year. I think the way he skates, the way he moves the puck is absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, like you said, in the dressing room, he's an absolute 10 out of 10. He's such a good guy. We all love him. I'm so excited when I heard he was coming back. It was a big thing for the team, and that culture in the dressing room, things like that, it's massive. So we all love him dearly, and I'm very happy he's back. And I know he would have missed not being around the boys again. So I know he likes it here. So we're really happy about that too.
And obviously, you guys, you made strides last year. You had some good results. You were there or thereabouts in the league. Obviously, Coventry didn't go the way it wanted to go, but the signings we've made, do you think that there's enough there to make that extra step?
Yeah, I do. We're very strong this year. We're very deep. I think that's something perhaps we weren't so much last year as deep. I think we were struggling at times when we did get to playoffs, and a few guys had knocks and bangs, and we're really struggling in those last few games. I think it was a tough one. But this year we've got a full roster. We've got four lines, which can just roll and go. And I think that's going to be a big difference. And obviously we've added the talent level too. We've got the extra import, who looks great, and Griff as well. I think Griff's going to be an amazing addition. He's another great guy, and I think this is something Aaron's tried to build over the years. Is most definitely that culture. It's amazing to bring in a very talented player, but that person's got to have the buy-in, got to be a part of the team. Got to get along with the boys, and I know this from experience because obviously Griff played with us a few years ago. But yeah, he's an absolute great guy. I'm really excited to see him again. We've been texting a little bit. He's already starting to make me laugh and take the mick out of me, which is pretty much his go-to with everyone else. But no, he's a great guy. Obviously, I've heard Connor's a great guy as well, and we know Wellesley, and hopefully the new imports will gel and fit in nicely too. And that's what it's about, because when you're in the trenches and it's hard times, it's that group spirit that really pulls you through, and that can often be the difference between winning the title and not winning the title. So so that's what we're hoping for.
You talked about Griff coming back to Swindon. Obviously, you were around when he was here before. Almost night and day, the club and the team and you guys as well, I would have thought, from where you were then to where you are now. But it's going to be just as fun as it was before.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, he's a great guy. He's a great lad. But no, yeah, when he came last time, obviously we were struggling a bit more then. I've been so long now, I've seen the whole trajectory of being towards the bottom of the league and then winning the league, and then now a second and third kind of for the last few years. So I've been everywhere. I've been bottom place and I've been first place. So, but no, like I say, that the team Aaron's put together, he's done, from what it looks like, he's done an amazing job. And I'm just excited to just get back on the ice and see everybody and get to work.
Obviously, as good as the roster we've got is this year, it's a league. There's 11 teams battling for the same prizes as you are. It's going to be a real tough year. The league's looking good this year. Yeah,
definitely. I've loosely kept track of signings and stuff. I'm not one for social media or anything like that, but I've loosely seen some of the signings. But yeah, everyone's obviously improving. With 4 imports, the natural level of the league is going to get better as well. So it's starting to, what I think is, it's starting to turn into that old EPL kind of model a little bit again, where it was very fast, very hard hitting, and you need a bigger roster and you need often 4 lines to be able to get through the weekends. So I see it turning kind of into the old EPL, which was obviously fantastic hockey, some of the best hockey I've played. But no, yeah, it's exciting, and yeah, it's nice to have that level of competition. And I think for a few years there was kind of a bit of a divide in the league. It was almost the top 3 or 4 and then everybody else. And it's not like that anymore. For the last few years, it's not been like that. And it's been amazing to see every team stepping up, and every team can beat every team on the night. That's what makes the league so exciting and close. It's almost not so much fun when one team just runs away with it, or these are 2 teams that just fight the whole year for the title. It's nice when there's a lot of teams involved.
And there's a slight familiarity with a team coming back. Obviously, we have lost the Bees this year, but the Bison are back, and we've had some fantastic battles in Basingstoke over the last few years. It must be nice to get that kind of rivalry back again.
Yeah, funny enough, I've seen a few of the Basingstoke boys recently, and I was telling them about how much I enjoyed playing there back in the day. It's one of my favourite rinks. I know that's crazy, hard to believe, but I scored my first ever Elite League goal there. I just got some really fond memories there. I remember turning up, and I know the DJ's it's fantastic. He always plays good music. I remember when I was younger, just listening to music, because obviously I was on the ice a lot when I played non. So most of the time, just rocking out to the music they were playing. But no, the crowd was amazing. I used to love it when we had our away fans in the far corner, bringing the noise. And every time we played Basingstoke, you remember this, Ben, it was packed. I never saw an empty seat every time we played there. I know we've always had quite a bit of a rivalry through the years. So. But no, like I say, it's really good to see them back. It'd be nice to have that rivalry. Hopefully they've got some dressing rooms for us now and not the port cabins out the back, because that was a bit of a shock for the last few years before it closed down. That wasn't the most pleasant of dressing rooms, but we'll see. But no, it's a really fun place to play, and they're always a hard working, hard hitting team, and I think that suits the way we play as well. I think it's always good games to watch.
And we kick off pre-season with them straight away, so you get thrown straight into that rivalry as well. There's no waiting for it.
Yeah, brilliant. We love it. We've got quite a few rivalries now going on. It's obviously got Bristol down the road, we've got Basingstoke down the other way. Leeds is obviously always a big rivalry for us as well. So no, it's good. It's good to have that competitive nature. It brings the fans in, to both rinks, home and away. So it's always a positive.
And tickets are kind of flying off the shelf for those first couple of games already, and we know it's going to be a big crowd, and it's just massive to have that behind you at the Link Centre, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Any interview I've ever had, always praised our fans. They are the best in the league, in my opinion. And they're always there every away game, always bringing the noise every home game, especially over the last few years. It just seems to be getting louder and louder and louder and more full every time. And that last couple of months at the end of last year when we were pushing towards the playoffs and even the playoff games, it was just crazy in there. You were there, you remember it. It was wild. It was so much noise. It's hard to think at times. But that's exactly what we need. That motivation to push us, and it really does help. It makes a big difference. So we just want to ask for the same again this year.
Well, that was my next question. It was my last question was going to be, Bully, this is your chance to talk to those fans and tell them what your team's going to need on the ice this year.
Yeah, well, like I say, bring the noise, please. That's always much appreciated. But no, we've team this year. Aaron's done an amazing job of putting some incredible talent together. We're really excited. Hope you guys are too, and we'll see you in September.
Bully, enjoy your holiday. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you on launch day.
Thanks, Ben. See you soon.